mai kako. Welcome to Halau na Puahala Kuno Ike Kai. My name is Kumu Kanoi, and we're so excited today. I know I say that every week, but this week we're really actually super excited to be coming to you live from Nu'uanu Valley on the island of Oʻahu. Um, this is our home slash halau. We're coming to you from our living room. And we so miss having you folks come here for hula, but we're so thankful for all of you joining us here on Facebook. Today we have a very, very special guest. We have been learning the mele, Kewalo Uka, for the entire month of March. And today we have the composer, in Hawaiian we say the Haku Mele, joining us. So we have Kumu Jonah Kahanu Solatorio. He's going to be joining us in just a moment. And I don't want to waste any of his precious time. He is a very busy guy. So I believe, without any further ado, it's time. Oh my gosh. Inahoa, we're super nervous because this is our very first live guest. I want to say aloha to those of you that are joining us live. So aloha to Barbara joining us from Kona. Aloha no. Uncle Frank all the way from Kaleponi joining us from California. Thanks for being with us here today. Hey, aloha Fern joining us from Texas. I always give her a yeehaw out there in Texas. Patricia is joining us, and Patricia is all the way in Massachusetts. Far, far away. Oh, Cyan. Cyan is one of our wahine that joins us right here from Aiea, and she's been looking forward to this interview. I know she loves Kumu Kahanu as much as I do. Linda joining us from Pennsylvania. Aloha no. And Wendy joining us from St. Louis Heights, Kalaipohaku. Good to be with you. Thanks for being here for hula today. All right. Now, I don't want to waste any more of his time. So I don't know what to do. Tell you folks to do hearts or likes or give some applause in the chat box. But before any more time goes by, I want to introduce our guest for today. Please welcome Kumu Jonah Kahanu Solatorio. Yeehaw! Aloha.
Yeah. Aloha kako. Aloha. Mahalo nui for having me.
Oh my gosh. Mahalo for saying yes to be a part of today's Papa Hula. I don't think I've ever had this many people watching live. It's all because of Kumukan who's gonna be here.
Oh no.
Well, thank you again for being a part of this, and I really want to mahalo you because you have been an inspiration for me during this really hard time, and even before COVID, all of the stuff that you have been doing on ehoopilimai, which is your Instagram channel teaching Hawaiian language. And yeah, I'm always like, if this young boy can do this thing, then I better figure it out. And I'm still kind of struggling with the Instagram, but Facebook I get. So
Yeah.
but
Awesome.
we wanted to bring you on today because we've been studying your mele, Kewalo Uka. And I just want to go back to that idea of Haku Mele. So Kumu Kahanu is a Haku Mele. And I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about your Haku Mele journey. I guess if you could just tell us a little bit about your background as a composer, who influenced you, and yeah.
Yeah. I guess going back, way back to when I was in high school, I took Hawaiian. That was my language of choice at Kamehameha. And I think it was in maybe my junior year when we had a Haku Mele assignment in the regular Hawaiian language class just to write songs. And that's the first, instinct of me, my first Haku Mele. And that was for mele. I think it was a mele for my aina too, for Papakōlea and Kalāwahine. Of course, it was horrible. I would never present it now because that was like my first thing, and I was like, I was very proud of it then, but looking back at the language, the melody is actually still pretty, but looking back at the language, I was like, oh no, yeah, no. So yeah, that
Okay, we
was
won't we
definitely.
won't make you sing it here today then.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even know it, but yeah. Um, and then my senior year, we had a Haku Mele class with Hailama Fardin. So we were very lucky to learn a lot from him. When I went to college at UH Manoa, I took Kumu Keawe's ʻŌlelo class as well as music classes, all of his music classes. And that's, where I got more of a, I was interested, but now I was starting to get more of a passion into Haku Mele and learning about Haku Mele and finding what styles I like. And of course, some of my favorites are Johnny Almeida, Mary Kavena Pukui, Lina Machado, they're classic songs. So that's where I try and draw inspiration from. But, how can we use those examples in a modern context? Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think you capture the essence of those classic, Haku Mele, where the language is not necessarily complex, or it's
Yeah.
not vocabulary that people don't use, or that people say like, oh, did they make up that word? It's language that we know and that we understand. It's of the people, I would say. And so I think that's why people love your mele so much.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I try for. Not too complicated or complex. Yeah. Just simple, but makes you want to dance, make you want to move. So yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I'm a music person, that's my
Yeah.
background first, even before ʻŌlelo Hawaii, really. I was curious, what do you start with? Do you start with the lyrics? Do you start with the melody? Things like that.
Process wise, I definitely always start with the lyrics.
Mm,
Trying to get that down first because, I mean, specifically for Hawaiian music, um, other cultures, they have music without necessarily having lyrics. They can just have the instruments playing. But Hawaiian, even in Oli, you need words. Yeah. Um, I mean, you can have a little pa'ani or ho'okani with your steel guitar, but there's always going to be the base of language or the lyrics first. Yeah. So that's what I always try and start with. And then the melody, it usually takes me a while to get to the melody because, you got to make the words fit or it has to fit into the rhythm. So that takes me a little while longer. But once I have a melody stuck, I record it right on my phone. I'm like, because I can have this while I'm driving in the car. I get a melody in my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna record it before I forget. And then
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We're so lucky to have, that thing that is our lifeline, right? It's our
right,
recorder, it's our notepad, it's our way to reach out to people. So even more so right now, but yeah, using that tool. That's cool.
exactly.
I love
Yeah.
that. Um, specifically for the Mele Kewalo Uka, did you write that for a specific occasion? I know I've seen some videos where you explained that it was for your papa, right? Is it your grandfather?
So it's I wrote it because I wanted to put a song for my Aina on our second CD.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, I wrote it because of the CD, but it kind of just came out naturally. That was probably one of the easiest songs I wrote. That and another one I wrote for Mauna Kea, but Kewalo especially was very. I mean, if you look at the words, it's not hard at all. It's very um, simple and describing three places that are dear to me, and at the end using three flowers, and at the end it becomes a lei that I can wear and I can cherish, and that's what I compare this melody to. It's a lei that the generations of people here in Papakōlea can wear and sing and be proud of. So yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote it for my papa, but I mean, there's the other two verses. So the second verse is definitely for my papa, but the other two verses are for my mother, student cousin Cappy, and then my grandma, Carrie Palenapa, who is
I love that. Would you mind if we actually look at those verses, and
yeah,
if you can tell me? I mean, I'm just so interested. The students on HULA, they've learned my motions for it, but I think if we can put it really with your mana'o,
yeah,
it'll just help them solidify it a little bit more. So I think this is first, right? Kewalo Uka iko ʻolu e. So can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit? I mean, did you draw these lines from other songs, or yeah, tell us about it.
So there's not that much songs written for my Aina. I mean, there's of course Papakōlea. Ia i ka luna. Napalapalai has a song for Papakōlea, but not many more. So I really wanted to encompass all of the three homesteads in this area. Um, because the other songs, they're just focusing on the one, Papakōlea, and then, clumping it all together. But I just wanted to make sure we acknowledge each homestead individually. So this first verse, this is where I live, Kewalo Uka. And if you don't know, it's right under Punch Bowl, right across the street of Lincoln Elementary School and Roosevelt High School. And it's funny because we live in town. We live right in the hustle and bustle of the city, but there's definitely a country vibe in my community. You feel like you have, I don't know, I don't want to say we feel like we're in Waianae, but you definitely have like a chill vibe.
Hey, I have family in Waianae. No.
Yeah, right. No. It's, just because it doesn't feel like a city place, a city town. Um, I have all these people that live around me that are here, my musical heroes. We have Oinane Kaneali'i, we have Keo Costa, we have Auntie Winifred, we have Uncle Ainsley used to live here. So we're definitely a tight knit community, and that's why I chose the word ʻolu. Kewalo Uka ika ʻolu, because just being here, living here for all of my life, it's just brought me a lot of peace and comfort and serenity. And yeah, so that's that first line. And funny thing is that I didn't even know Kewalo Uka was the name of my area when I was growing up, because everyone used to call it Aniani Ku. So I thought, oh, Aniani Ku is the name, but Aniani Ku is actually just a street name that goes parallel to Roosevelt. And yeah, so people thought that was the name of the city, and then I realized later on in life that it's Kewalo Uka after doing some research. So yeah, that's why I was like, what am I going to title this song? Because it's about the three, but I was just like, Kewalo Uka, because that's how the name will continue on. That's how we will preserve those older names instead of just.
Yeah. I think even when watching your Instagram channel, you'll have student cousin Cappy, your mom. You'll say, okay, what's your aina? And then she'll say, Kewalo Uka, but that's kind of new to her even too, right?
Yeah.
As far as calling it Kewalo Uka.
Yeah, because before, when she was growing up, they would just call this whole area Papakōlea.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense because we're all connected, the three different homesteads. But once Kalāwahine was built, which is still pretty new, I think
Recent, yeah.
maybe 2000s. Of course, they had their own name. Papakōlea had their own name. So this community, I was like, you know what? We're going to make sure this name of Kewalo Uka is remembered forever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's so awesome. I love that you've just breathed that life into it through Mele.
And that's all of our names, like Diamond Head. Instead of calling it Diamond Head, we can start calling it Leahi or Laiahi. So many Sandys, Avavamalou. So it's all there. It's maybe hard to find, but if we look a little deeper, they're there for us to find.
Yeah. And then you mentioned that you wrote this verse for your mom.
Yes. So I feel like she's everybody's mom now, but yeah,
She's
student cousin. Yeah, definitely. Oh, you're my sister. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah. So her favorite flower is the pikake, and when we were growing up, we used to have a pikake plant bush in our front yard. So there's not really a lot of pikake around our area. It's not like it grows abundantly here, but because we had it in our yard, I felt that was a perfect metaphor for my mother, and that's her favorite flower. So yeah, that's why I chose that. And then I'm wearing a beautiful lei, which I got from a lovely wahine this afternoon. But
I ambushed him. I was like, "Where are you? I have something to give to you."
I'm not actually see him. Okay, I'm outside. Not just kidding. But the pikake has that memorable fragrance, and it's so I don't want to say it's strong. It's strong, but it's more or less like It's just a powerful fragrance. And
Yes.
that's her. She's very powerful. I would say she's definitely like the peacock.
Oh my gosh, that's classic. That's
Right?
classic. I really,
But
for the Haumana out there, I really want to point out this fact. Like, you remember I was talking about, oh, I didn't even really know that pikake grew that much in Kewalo Uka, but exactly what Kumu Kahanu said is this is not something that is widespread in Kewalo Uka. This is very specific to their property, childhood. Maybe it's not even there anymore. Do you still have this pikake?
it's not, yeah, no,
It's
it's
not
not
there,
anymore,
right? So
sadly.
like
But
this
yeah.
speaks of a specific time, a specific thing like chicken skin. Just thinking about how this comes alive through the mele and talking to you because we would never know that. We would just think, oh, there must
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
plenty pikake.
No, and it's funny because she always says my favorite is the pikake, 3 strands or more. So if you ever happen to buy her a pikake lei, make sure you just it's 3 strands or more.
I heard
And,
her in the back of my head when I went to go pick up your lei because
oh
auntie
yeah,
at the lei she was like, how many strands? I was like, 3 strands or more, 3 strands or more.
yeah.
Okay, 3 strands.
You know, it's funny. I went over to her house to uh take dinner or make dinner, and she goes, "Who got you that lei? I want it." And I was like, "No." Sorry. She was like, I want it. No, the thing is, she just asked, "Who got you that lei?" And I already know that means she wants it. And I was like, "I'm not going to take it off. It's mine." Like that's exactly her. The pikake is
Yeah.
a favorite of people because of its powerful fragrance. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's it. Because the happy first.
Yes. I love that. Okay. Okay, I know this is like I'm killing you, but second verse. Pūlamahia Papakōlea. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So this is the one specifically for my papa. The whole song is dedicated to my papa, but this verse is for Gilbert Kawilikupumamane Aliang She, who is definitely a pillar in our community. Everyone knows him, everyone uh, respects him, and everyone, you know, loves him just as much as I do. So it in comparison, I chose the flower, the melia, because back in the day, our that was very prevalent here. You know how we were saying pikake wasn't, plumeria used to be, and we used to have a lot of lace sellers here in this area, and they would make the lace from the plumeria right in their backyard and take it down to the Aloha Tower or the Honolulu Harbor and sell them to the tourists that would be coming in. And my grandma was a lace seller as well. So it's a whole connection, to our aina, to our kupuna. But then again, it's such a favorite flower of so many people around Hawaii, not only in Papakolea. Like everywhere you go, you always see someone wearing a plumeria, or because first of all, it's pretty cheap, and then second of all, it's easy to make if you can just sew one together. Thirdly, it's just beautiful. It's vibrant. It has those nice colors. So that's his verse. Pūlamahia Papakōlea. He's a treasure for me, for so many people, for my entire family and our community. And then he is that cherished plumeria flower that we all love and we all wear and we all adore. And yeah, but it's funny because I wrote this verse for him not even realizing that his nickname that we all call him, Papa, is right there in Papa Kolea. So
Oh my god.
that came up after um the CD came out, actually. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, his name is right in there. Oh my
Literally, yeah.
I
So
love that. See? So okay, I'm gonna look at the camera. I was not lying to you folks when I said there was lei sellers in Papakolea and they were ohana to Kumu Kahanu. So we played a little game to guess like how much leis cost at different times and things like that.
well,
So
funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
No,
good one.
I mean, and that reminds me, I wrote we had to do a biography project in elementary, or is it autobiography? I forget, but I think it's biography. So I had to write about someone in my family. So I chose I think it was my great grandma who was a lace seller, and then the opening line is 15 cents a lei, 15 cents a lei. Like literally, that was the opening line. So Yeah,
Oh my
of my
gosh, you were a performer from way back. I can
yeah.
just see you.
I know.
Lays, I've got some lays for sale.
We're
That's
gonna make a play.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
But
Okay,
yeah,
we're
so
gonna
that's
charge ahead. Charge ahead. Verse number 3.
okay. So this was for my nan, we called her, who was Papa's wife. She sadly passed a couple years ago. But again, she's always going to be here with us. And I mean, we know that. And this song just reminds me of that, that she's always going to be that constant protector. So that verse, Kalāwahine o waipahē, again, Kalāwahine is the newest of the three homesteads, but um, I'm just comparing her, especially to some just a graceful woman, because that's who she was. She was graceful. She was elegant. She spoke not properly, but she spoke eloquently, and um, we miss her every day. But we know that she is that guiding and that protecting person over us, watching over us from heaven in heaven. So that's why I chose the kukui, because the kukui is definitely it. It means enlightenment, but it also shows kind of a protection over people. So when you first drive into Kalāwahine, there's a grove of kukui trees right at the beginning, and still to this day. And you know, I always imagine kukui being um, just something of enlightenment. And she definitely was that for me. She taught me a lot of lessons growing up early. She was more strict. My papa was more of the here's $20. She was more of the go clean the yard. So
Yeah.
she definitely teaches us taught us a lot of lessons growing up. Life's not easy, and life it's not going to be handed to you. Um, but yeah, and all of those lessons are stuck with me today. You got to work hard, and I try and do that every day of my life, because especially for my language. If no, you know, I got to be the one to just do it, and then hopefully that inspires more people to continue on. So yeah, and that's how I met
Yeah.
you. I mean, that's how we
Yeah.
connected, and now we're here. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Exactly. I always post and I'm like, my dear, dear friend that I met through
yeah,
Instagram. I'm just gonna call him my dear, dear friend, even though we've only
yeah,
really met a few times and chit chat on Instagram. But
yeah. So
no,
we're
I
family
I
already.
really
Like even,
love. Yeah, exactly. We're family. Yeah. I love that
but
you point out about the kukui and how it
yeah,
has dual meaning, right? Kukui, of course, is the candle nut because the Hawaiians would use the nut to make the light. But the
yeah,
kukui, when you hear it in Mele, is often talking about light. And I think, as much as your tutu was a light for you, I think you are a light that continues to shine into the next generation. And so I think that perfectly ties into what the last verse is, which is
yeah.
puana. So you kind of gave us a brief overview, but will you tell us again what puana is?
Yeah, so I mean, easy way to end. Puana ia me ke aloha, my song is done and it's pronounced and it's sung with a lot of love. Because of course it's for my family, but it's also for my aina. So I'm gonna just share my aloha with the world, hopefully, the aloha that I have for my aina. But the last line is very important because it's ku'ulei papahi e vehi mau ia e, and this is probably the hardest line that I had to write for this song, because I just like, how do I wrap it up? I cannot go back to Kewalo and just focus on Kewalo. How am I going to make it all into one? So I was like, you know what? They're all flowers. Might as well just make the lei. So that turned into Ku'ulei Papahi e Vehi Mau Ia, my lei of honor to wear forever and ever. Um, and just something that I have a lot of pride for. And yeah, it worked out because you start with your uh pikake, then your plumeria and your kukui, you tie it all together. I don't know, I've never created a lei with those three together, but hey, maybe one day I will. And then yeah, it becomes into this wonderful gift that I give to my people and my family. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun every week. I was trying to wear the lei that would match the verse,
Yeah, yeah.
and even last week I was like, what am I gonna wear for Puana? I don't know what to wear,
Oh
um
yeah,
and so honestly, having you here for this interview is sort of the tying it all together. You're the one binding it all together. And remember, we said that the word for composer is Haku Mele, and people always think of the word Haku as the Haku Le, which of course a lot of people say Le po'o, it's for the head, and Haku is really the style of braiding. But you look at those two words, right? Haku Le, a person who makes le, and a Haku Mele, someone who strings together ideas and poetry and music
yeah.
into a lei that will never die, especially because yours is so dang popular. Everybody's gonna be singing it for all the generations. This is the lei. It's not a pikake or a melia or even a kukui that's gonna be pau after one day or 1 month or 1 week or whatever. But this lei is
Yeah.
gonna continue on, and all we have to do is breathe life into it and sing it and dance it.
No, exactly. And I mahalo you. I mahalo everyone who's danced it already and who's learned it and who's loved it. But bringing up that Haku Mele talk, like it reminds me of something that Kumu taught me back in his class, Kumu Lopez, and that was there's a Haku Mele, which is the composer of the song, and then there's also the Haku Mele, which is if you want to gift that song to someone or if it's written for someone in particular, then that song belongs to them now. You have the person that wrote it, and then the Haku Mele is going to take over that ownership and have the kuleana of that mele on them now. So of course, this is written for those three people, but the new Haku Mele is of course my papa. He's the one that this mele was written for and inspired by. So yeah, so I'm the Haku Mele, he's the Haku Mele.
Yeah, I love teaching people. I learned that same thing from Kumu
Yeah,
about
yeah,
Haku Mele versus Haku Oke Mele, and I hope that more people will dive into this idea of well, I mean, I think in Western society, right, there's so much like copyright. That's my song, and I wrote it, and don't steal it,
yeah,
and all of that kind
yeah,
of thing. But Hawaiian thought is really that this mele is a gift that I'm giving to you to take care of and to make your own kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I just it reminds me of all of those people, all of our Haku Mele from back in the day, all of our kupuna. Like I just wish I had a song written about for me, and I could have been one of those Haku Mele for Lina Machado or Johnny Almeida, but it's okay.
we can dream.
Yeah, I'm gonna claim Ho'onanea and Aoya and then Kaunui.
I'm pretty sure those are for you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, I know that my hula people are getting just so excited to dance. So,
Yeah.
would you do us the pleasure of singing this mele?
You
And
know,
everybody at home, you got to get up and dance. And when we get to Puana, which we're going to cover next week, you have two choices. You can sit back, relax, and just enjoy. I'll dance it for you. Or if you want to just run them hard, then just jump in. I'll be mirroring you so you can dance it along. But I will officially teach Puana next week. You better come, even though you see the video today. If you don't come next week and you came today, you're nails. Okay.
you're next. Okay.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Pūlamahia.
Pūlamahia Papakōlea o ka meli Pūlamahia Papakōlea Haku Mele
Kalāwahine.
Kalāwahine o ka waipahē ka ʻulu kukui e malu
Kalāwahine.
Kalāwahine o ka waipahē ka ʻulu kukui e malu
Yeehaw. Uana.
Me ke aloha akule popahi e vehi mauia
Uana.
me ke aloha akule popahi e vehi mauia Yay!
Yay!
Thank
Sorry.
you so much.
I think my phone is blowing up because everybody loves it so much. So everybody is sending me texts on my first camera that froze at the end. So, but yay! Oh, I miss dancing with live music, but dang, this is so. We're so lucky, to have this opportunity to dance with you. So, I hope everybody out there enjoyed that. I know you have another class to run to, so I don't want to keep you too long. But
No,
I wanted to just. You have time. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to just talk about a little bit while we have you. You have so many exciting things going on, and I want our followers, although we have a very small fraction of what you have already, but I want them to follow and to check you out. So if you don't already follow Kumu Kahanu on ehoopilimai, that is his Instagram, and you also do Facebook, but it's kind of like Instagram is the main one, right?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
I just got into TikTok, but that's going nowhere. I don't think this is happening. TikTok's too hard.
No, I love your TikToks. And I mean, your time is split between so many things. You're a teacher at Kamehameha schools, but you also find time to collaborate with all these different people. And so I wanted to show off a couple of things because I have them here. So we have this,
yeah.
which is the Ku'u Home Aloha calendar. So who did you do this collab with, and who did it benefit, I guess?
Yeah, sorry, the lighting is just
I know
kinda
you're
tricky,
getting
but,
blasted. You got those
Yeah.
laser eyes.
Yeah. So that was with Aloha Modern, and Ku'u Home Aloha is the new brand that they've been starting, and it's wonderful. Just because they wanted me to just promote it, so that's how I've been working with it. But it's beautiful because it has a lot of important dates. It talks about ali'i lahanau and different lahanau of our cultural leaders, and yeah, and so cool. And it also has the moon phases, so
Yeah,
very cool.
there's so much information in this.
Right? The pictures
Okay.
are beautiful.
I know. Okay, another one of my personal favorite collabs that you did is this one.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. Oh, it's so bright. Oh,
Yeah.
there.
There you go.
Kako Collective. I don't know how to show that. Kako Collective. My hands look like T-Rex, so I'm not gonna do that anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
So you did Kako. Oh, I know. We have a slide for Kako Collective. Can you put that up? And then can you tell us a little bit about what you did for this?
Yeah. So with them, I just love her stuff. It's Kea Peters, who she just is a wonderful artist, and I fell in love with her stuff last year. But we both kind of had the idea, and then I reached out to her about collabing for something, and she graciously obliged, and he was like, "Yeah, what do you have in mind?" So I was like, "Okay, what about Mahina ʻŌlelo Hawaii? If we had some, ʻAʻaliʻi theme things, and then of course some." She brought up having script, so I helped her create the words on the, or figure out the words on those ones. So we have eholomua, meaning to move forward and to progress. Enokemau, which is just to keep persisting, and then also ʻaʻikolelo. It's my personal motto, which is, you know, to dare to speak. And yeah, I think it's popular too with all of her
Yeah.
followers. So
I
that's
think I
great.
think it's all pretty much sold out. I went on to try and like restock more, and I was like, oh no, sorry, it's gone. But yeah,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
there
yeah,
there might be a little bit more of some of them. But so just definitely
yeah.
go check her out. And then the most recent collab is this
Yeah,
one, which we
yeah.
have our. How can I? Let's go to this camera. Okay. Uh, uh, uh. I'm not a product person. Okay, but here we go. This is the A'aikolelo Actions of Aloha. Oh, yeah, I gotta go like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, it's
Actions of Aloha.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is cards. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so the collab partner was Actions of Aloha, and it's funny because in our ehoopilimai morning class, we always show Actions of Aloha. Um, it started off with different daily actions that you can use to show aloha, and we love that concept because that's what we try and promote: just aloha and caring and being kind to one another. So we do that every morning, and then they also have Olelo no Eao. But then again, I reached out to them and they had the same idea of collaborating. And instead of doing actions in Hawaiian, we chose to do different daily phrases. So there's 52 um, specific phrases that, easy ones that everyone says in their everyday lives, like take good care, good morning. And that was a fun one because they're like, how can we make it on brand? So we're like, okay, of course you gotta have the teal color if that's okay. So they put the teal color,
Of course,
and
it's
then
so hot right now.
yeah,
That teal color is so hot right
yeah,
now.
and look, it's so pretty. There's the the white on one side and the teal. It just came out really beautiful. So
Yeah.
that was a good collab. And then all of that money that we're raising from the sales is gonna go to Punana Aho Punana. So yeah, all the collabs that I've been with, I want to give back because, my small contribution, whatever I can do to help these programs. So I try and help Punana and of course the different immersion schools. So yeah, I mean, and I encourage
Yeah.
others to do that too. Just donate, or if you're working on projects or products, then take some of that money. You don't have to be all, maybe a little bit, and send it to the school.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what we're gonna do for leading up to May Day, but this is like a little teaser. We're gonna do lays for days, so we're gonna do 30 days of like leading up to Lay Day, and I'm trying to figure out a partner that I can collaborate with, so maybe we can raise some money for someone. So if you have any ideas of who I should collab with, let me know because you're so good at that. But
Yeah, no, I'm down. Yeah, let's do
yay.
it.
Yay. Awesome. Well, one last thing that we want to, oh, I lied. There's two things. Okay. One thing is this Friday, you're kind of hosting an event. And we're super excited about it because we're still on spring break, so we can go follow you all around town. But can you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about the scavenger hunt for Prince Kuhio?
Yes. So, oh, there you go. You got the screen ready already. So we have Keli'i Maka'anana. It's a virtual scavenger hunt. Makolelo Hawaii, and just honoring different places that are significant to Prince Kuhio, because of course it's his 150th birthday on Friday. He was born on March 26th, 1871, and I started this with Pauahi. I did Aloha Pauahi, that scavenger hunt with her. Then I did another one in January 17th weekend, and that was for the commemoration of the overthrow. But we honored the 8 different LAE, and you guys were actually the grand prize winners. Your entire because you guys were able to do like your hula for that different locations, and I loved it. It was amazing. So this next one is I filmed them all yesterday, so they're all ready to go. All the clues, but we'll be uploading the clues 8 a.m. in the morning, and we'll have that entire weekend to just literally go around the island. It's it's not only Honolulu this time. You gotta drive a little. So sorry, but not sorry because it's
Can you at
fun.
least tell us like what side of the island we should start on? I mean, at 8 a.m., I gotta be like, I gotta hit it.
Okay?
Central.
I'm gonna no. I'm gonna have. I'll
Okay.
give you the. So I'll just say start on the east side because and then work
Start on the east side.
maybe the other way. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
so if
That's
we
all I
want to
gotta
do
give you.
if we want to do Makapu'u Lighthouse sunrise, then we'll be in a good spot.
That's perfect. That's the perfect spot. So yes, there you go.
Okay, so all you people out there that are on the island of Oʻahu, see you at Makapu'u on Friday.
Yeah. And then
And
hopefully
just go
one day.
from there.
No, exactly. Just follow. But you have the whole weekend, so if you want to do a couple on one day and a couple on the other, and it's there's prizes, of course, but if it's more of a learning opportunity. And the cool thing about this one is that the songs are actually the clues are actually in song form. So
Ooh, I love
yeah,
that. I love it. I love it. I was already trying to think, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But if some of our followers want to come and join us for this scavenger hunt, it would be super fun to do like a little caravan, go to a couple of the different places. So
yeah.
I'll send more information about that as we go. But I'm thinking Makapu'u for Lighthouse, we'll do a little ALA, start the day, and then boom. So
No, and that's exactly You're on the right frame of mind, so that you're
perfect.
good.
Yay! Okay. All right. Last thing I promise. I know you gotta go, and you keep telling me you have more time, but I'm taking more. The last thing is May Day is coming up. As much as I'm sure you wish it were not coming so soon because you have lots to do, but you of course have a band that you are a part of, Keauho, and you folks have a big May Day concert. Last year was big, and I can
Yeah.
only imagine that this one is going to be fabulous too. So tell us about what's happening for May Day.
Yeah, so sneak peek. But last year, because of COVID, we had to pivot because we wanted to do a huge grand concert like how they used to do at the show. We did it the year before, and this year, it happened. So we just had to pivot, and we went virtual. We had a whole TV program with Hawaiian Airlines, and it came out very beautiful. So we're doing that again this year because it worked. So we're like, okay, let's do it again. But this year is a little different. We're focusing, working with the Hawaiian Airlines team of travel. We're focusing on Hawaiian tourism or like culturally responsible tourism. So that's makaikai, to explore, but of course promoting the cultural side of tourism, not just the glamorous side. So we're going to 3 different spots around Oʻahu again: Helumoa, Ulupo, and Lanikuhonua, and we're showing, another side that the tourists may not always see. Waikiki is beautiful. We always say Waikiki is beautiful and pretty, but there's more to your vacation than just Waikiki. So, yeah, and of course, this all encompasses mele, hula, storytelling, interviews. So I'm very excited for this one. I think it's going to be excellent. So, and we just wrapped all of our filming yesterday. So yeah.
Yay.
Production process. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, all of my Haumana love your music and love your Instagram channel. So I know that we're going to be tuning in to Mayday's Lady. One last thing before we let you go, I had already asked of Kumu Kahanu if he would kick us off into this season of lei, which I know it's still March, but hula dancers know if you're gonna have a Lei Day concert, you got to start learning the hula early. So we're gonna be doing a project coming up where we're gonna be asking for our haumana to send in Mayday's Lei Day videos, and I just asked Kumu if he would be the voice. So he's gonna play for us Mayday's Lei Day. I'm gonna dance. We're just getting in the mood. All of this Puamelia just gets me in the mood for May Day. So cool.
I mean, it's never a bad day to wear a lei. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean May 1st is Lei Day, but every day should be Lei. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. May Day. blossoms in their hair, flowers and me, we should be happy, throwing aside a load of care. Oh, May Day is lady in Hawaii. May Day is happy days out there. May Day is happy days out there.
Oh, my heart is so happy. Thank you so much.
So mahalo nui, and to all of you watching, mahalo for continuing and upholding the kuleana of our Hawaiian traditions of hula, of mele, of oli, and language. So thank you for all of your hard work too, Kumu.
Oh, well, it's been such a pleasure. Kumu has to jump off because he has another class to jump onto and all the things. He's gonna hit it to Papa. But yeah, I think I've seen so many comments come through. I don't want to keep you any longer. We will definitely get to the comments, but we appreciate all of the loves and the likes and the hearts and everything. Send more. Send all the love to Kumu Kahanu and yeah. Yay. Okay. Have a fabulous day.
Thank you.
We'll see you real soon.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. We'll have a beautiful day in Hawaii.
A beautiful
Ahui
day in
Thank you.
Hawaiʻi. Ahui ho.
Mahalo.
Awesome. Awesome. To all of you out there, thanks again for being a part of our hula ohana. We'll be back next week to finish up Puana of Kewalo Uka. And until then, have a beautiful week. How can you not, right? Ahui ho.